Mitumba chapchapa mbele iko sawa.
Hi everyone, welcome back to our channel, Mitumba Chapchap official channel. My name is Grace Wambere, CEO Mitumba Chapchap. Today I would like to talk more, elaborate more on the origin of bales, because I've had so many questions before about what's the difference in the country of origin, or what's the effect, as in what affects the pricing, for example, because sometimes you'll hear a bale from UK might be a bit expensive than the one from China. Let me start with the China bales. If it's a China bale, it will be a bit cheaper than the UK one or the Canadian one because of the costing of the importation. Let's say, for example, I'm traveling to Nyeri and someone else is traveling to Kisumu. The pricing of the transport will not be the same, and if you are going for business, when you include the transport, you'll see that one who is going to Kisumu will have a higher costing. So if you're importing something from China will be a bit cheaper. It doesn't mean it's bad, because we have been made to believe the cheaper the item, the worse it is. That's not the point. When it comes to the grading is that, like I've always told you, if it's grade 1 means they are slightly used, some are used, you might even find some that are new. If it's grade 2, they are likely to be more used than the grade 1s. If it's cream, everything is new. If it's from China, they are graded the same way they are graded in UK, the same way they are graded in the UK, in Canada. So also the seasons do matter. Let's say, for example, when it's the UK, the winter bales, for example, why are their pricing a bit lower? It's because of the number of pieces. I believe I've mentioned this before. Bales are weighed in kgs. So basically, in Kenya, we are allowed to have from 25 kgs to around 45 kgs. Most of the bales are in 45 kgs. Some are 40, some are 30. And so when I talk of the number of pieces, you'll find that a bale that has summer clothes. Summer clothes mean lighter clothes because there are no heavy items. They're likely to have more pieces than those ones that are packaged in winter. Let's say, for example, the children heavy will have lesser pieces than the children light. Now, another thing that when it comes to the origin of the country that might affect the content of a bale, it's the sizing. Mostly you'll hear people saying that the China bales are small, relatively small, which is, yes, it happens so because see, the second-hand clothes are collected from the area or from the factory before they are packed, but it doesn't mean that in China we only have small people. But fashion-wise, for those who are targeting smaller ones, I always recommend them to go for China. If you are going for bigger sizes, you can concentrate with the European countries or the US, or in the US, the American countries or Canadian bales. You'll get a bit bigger sizes. But then it doesn't mean that all the bales, that if you get a China bale, you'll all get everything small. That if you get the Canadian bales, I like talking about Canadian bales because those are the most ones that I've worked with. They're the most ones that I've opened and the ones that I deal with most. So when it comes to, let's say, for example, we had an issue with the stockings. We know these places are cold, so most of the kids there, even 15 years old kids, will be wearing stockings, and then you'll find even that kid is maybe even my size. So ukipata stocking hapo, you start complaining, oh, sijapata ya toto mdogo, nimepata tu ya watu wakubwa. We cannot determine. If I tell you bale ni ya kutoka Canada na ni ya watoto wa kutoka newborn to around 15 years or newborn to, it doesn't mean ati watoto wote wa hiyo age, because you see venye mtoto wangu anaweza kuwa anatoshana akiwa class 8, utapata hiyo the same class 8 kuna mkubwa na kuna mdogo. So at some point tunasemanga ni the body size ya mtu. Utapata pia mimi kwa bale ya watoto nikienda nitapata t-shirt inanitoshea vizuri, which is even written 15 years, but because of my body size it's fitting me. So you cannot go accusing someone ati amekuchagulia ati ulikuwa umeitisha bale ya watoto lakini umepata juu ya watu wazima just because wewe uko an adult na umepata kitu inakutoshea hapo ndani. To avoid all these things, I'm keeping on encouraging people, why don't you try going to the market if you have specific market that you're targeting. Tuseme umefungua boutique na wewe ushajua clients wangu wanakuanga ni sizes small, medium and large, and anything bigger than that or smaller than that will not move. Kwa nini and then to the market you approach someone who is opening bales, unachagua the specific ones. Kuna hawa watakuja like I'm having issues with people coming from Instagram. Someone has just downloaded some photos from Instagram, zimepigwa picha vizuri. Some are even clothes from the shops or they are new even from Isili, but someone wants to get the same from the bale, and when this someone opens that bale and bale ikose kutoka the exact, inakuwa ni vita. So beginners, when you're starting, mtaambiwa ati ukitoa na unajua kuna watu wana download picha wanasema this one is ex Canada, it's ex UK, because you know everyone is using a terminology to make their items move. So before you go running for a bale, can you learn the basics? I have always told you guys, when we are opening bales, you can always come and watch. It's free of charge before you get to decide. But if you come with a photo from Instagram, I'll tell you maybe you might get something relatively like this, but it doesn't mean that utafungua bale na upate t-shirt tuko na maua kato yenye uliona Instagram, ama utafungua upate jeans kama zenye ulipata Instagram. Wengine unataka ufungue bale na zikuje zimepigwa pasi, zimenyooshwa, mwingine anasema mpaka harufu yake, sijui harufu yake sio kama ya mtumba. Before getting into this business, I would like to urge, because it's a sweet business when it's done right, come na mtoe miguu kwa gunia. As I keep on telling you, toa miguu kwa gunia. Hakuna hamu yeyote ya kurauka asubuhi na mapema. You go to Gikomba, you see how things are run there. You get to understand that when I open a bale today and I get small sizes and I get a bit of this type of a design, nimepata t-shirts high low, nimepata shirt dresses kwa bale, and I don't expect to get the same next time. And once you have that and you're open-minded, imagine hii biashara itaingiana tu vizuri. Before going for any bale, ati sasa umesikia Grace Wambere, Mitumba Chapchap wanauza bales, ukuje tu na uchukue bale. I would like to urge you, so you first visit your market, you first explore your market. What do I mean by that? This is something that I always keep on insisting, and I will never get tired of insisting on it, because I've had people who will come for a bale, go to the market, and I will tell you the market will totally disappoint them. Why? Imagine you are selling somewhere in a shopping center, a shopping center that has different, ikona tuduka tu na tu boutiques, na wamekuanga hapo wanauza tops, wanauza dresses, wanauza nguo za watoto. And ukienda pale uangalie vizuri, utapata like tops they are selling at 100, 150, upate dresses they are selling at 500, 400. That's an example I'm giving. Then before even doing your research and you want to open a shop, the same place, you come to me and you decide that unataka kuchagua camera from us, tops you pick at 150. Obviously you not go to sell at the same price of 150. Inabidi uuze from 200 to 250, 300, ndio at least you get something, you get your money back, you get some profit. So after you've picked and you've gone to the market, ndio unaenda kurealize ala kumbe huku top zinauzangwa na 150 venye tu nilienda kuchagua huko kwa Grace. Will you have me to blame for that? No, you'll not blame me. You'll blame yourself, because first of all, you never did your research. So And I tell you, when you come and tell me ati Grace, ni nguo gani zinaendanga sana? Okay, I will go from my list and maybe I'll tell you I sell like chiffon tops 3-4 bales every day. So I tell you actually chiffon tops zinaendanga sana. But then pale kwenu market yenye unaenda kutarget ni ya watu hawaezi vaa chiffon tops, because you see like each and every clothes, like chiffon tops are not for everyone. Why? Because utapata mingi ziko na ni see through. You see, not everybody atataka kuvaa top ati inaonyesha na bra yake. Let's say for example the trench coats. If the trench coats are selling, you are in Mombasa, there's no way you're gonna sell them because that place is warm. Even when it's raining, it's warm. So it's because you didn't do your market research. So when you're going to do your market research, what exactly are you supposed to do? What you're supposed to do is go check around. Like, for example, if it's the tops that I want to bring, that I want to bring tops, what type of tops are being sold around? At how much are they being sold at? So by the time you're coming to me, you are actually in a position to tell me kule tops naona zinauzwa 100 ikienda sana 150. Then I can be able to advise you maybe which bale you can pick, whether you are supposed to select, whether you are supposed to maybe take even a quarter of something to go for the trial. You get that? Don't just rush. I saw on the comments the other day, I was asking kama kuna mtu aliyetoa miguu kwa gunia, and kuna mtu alijibu na akasema vizuri sana. Mimi si kufanya research yangu vizuri, ndienda nikachagua jackets na 200, then kuja kwa market napata zinauzwa 200. Amelearn lesson yake, so next time atafanya kitu kama hiyo. But also don't give up. If such happens, there's always another market, and online market ndio inakujanga ina favor mtu kidogo. You can take a photo, because this is whatever these people are not appreciating hapo kwa kibanda ama kwa kiosk ama kwa duka yako, maybe online there's someone who will die for it. Kuna mtu atalipa double just to get it. So I hope that point is that when it comes to nini, do your research well. So now you've done your research and you've come for the bale, or maybe umechagua. So let me talk of the bale, because there are many people who get lost after kuchukua bale. So what should you do after picking a bale? After opening the bale, take a book first of all. Na josha andika pale nimechukua chiffon kwa Grace Wambere inatoka 19k. Transport nilitumia ilikuwa ni hii, all that. Then now open up your bale. If you are opening for the very first time, my dear, tafadhali do it alone. Why am I saying do it alone? Because people, we see things differently. You will invite someone, even your sister, your friend, to open a bale, na nakwambia kuna mtu atakuwa roho. Kuna wale wazuri, semi ni wote, lakini kuna mtu utakaa naye hapo utakufa roho, na utanipigia simu unaanza kuniambia ni hizi yote umenitumia mavitu, hata unaezalia. Sasa hiyo uko na vitu mzuri hapo. Kwa sababu nikwambia bale wanga zina surprise. Venye inakuanga imefinywa, itakuja some two buttons pengine tumebreak, zingine zimekujana. So kuna mtu ataangalia tu na ataangalia kutoka perspective yake, na kuna mtu pengine hata ashaisikia, ameenda tu online, amesikianga watu online huibiwa, so hata hana hiyo trust kwetu. So I would urge you, if you have taken that chance na umesema nimechagua Grace Wambere wa Mitumba chap nitachukua bale ya kwake, umenunua na umeenda na ni mara yako kwa kwanza, fungua peke yako. Ifungue, chagua. Haya, kuna watu wanaulizanga sasa nitajuaje kamera? Obviously unajua kamera. If you are shopping for yourself all the times, you know what is nice. You are able to look at something and say, this thing, if someone was to sell it to me at 100, siwezi nunua, lakini 150 naweza nunua. Then unaipiga pasa sema, hey, hata imepanda bei. You know, at some point, you're just there at the shop and someone comes, anapima nguo, unaiangalia ulikuwa unauza 400, unasema hey, afadhali ningekuwa naiuza 1000 because venye imemtoa. So take your time. If you have dummies, even better, because you see a dummy will help. When you just look at a cloth this way, it will be very difficult for you to see venye inaeza tokea kwa ina curved body. So if you can afford a dummy, why not get a dummy? unavalisha, then unaweza kuengage vizuri, unasema hii yake ya nani na use this much. So after you've done that, you'll be separating those clothes and you'll have you buy these sacks. Kuna hizi gunia za 90 kg zinatokanga around 50 bob hapo hivyo. Ukifungua nasema hii ni ya first camera, ni ya second camera. So ukisha chukua hii unasema imetokea vizuri, hii inaweza uza 300 zieke zote pamoja. Hii unasema inaweza uza na 200 zieke zote pamoja. Then anza kuhesabu. Ukihesabu hizo za 200, you will see zinakuja na how much. Ukisha hesabu tena the second camera, the same thing, and then you'll be noting down kama ni hii gunia nimeweka tops the first cameras like it's like the chiffon tops, naziuza at 200, minimum 200 kwenda juu. So ukifanya hesabu yako pengine unapata like 100 pieces, utajua definitely hapo nimepata this much, kwa hiyo umepata this much, and you'll be good to go. So even when people are coming to buy, you're not even confused ati hii ni ya bei gani na hii ni ya bei gani. You have already separated them. So that way never do this mistake of ati nimefungua nguo nimesema nimepata 200 pieces or divide by sijui how much I sold, sijui imekuja na pesa ngapi. Because you know what happens, by the time you are finishing your first camera, tuseme kama hizo tops useme zimeingia na 60 bob per top, utauza 100 na ni bale ya 19k. By the time you are doing 100 pieces, you've already sold only 10k. Umebaki na pieces like 150 which by then people will come back telling you, oh, haujafungua mzigo ingine, sizi niliziacha hapa, unafungua ingine lini? Yani watu washachoka, utapata unahema kumalizia hiyo mzigo. So with that, at least you are sure, do not price them the same. You cannot divide the amount you bought at with the how many pieces you've gotten, because even inside those bales, hizo nguo are not of the same quality. You have to grade them also. Nasema first camera, second camera, na fag. After you've sold, watu wengi ushinda wakiniuliza nitafanya nini na fagia. Umeuza, umerudisha pesa yako, umebaki na umepata profit mzuri. At some point kuna watu wanasema there are people who say I will get another bale cause nisharudisha pesa anyway, wacha nichukue bale nyingine, hizi ziko hapa zikuje zisukume hii, cause unajua kuna kangu kazuri kana kamebaki pale mtu hakuona the very first time, unakuja una mix tu, but then at some point utapata zimekumekuwa sasa na dead stock mingi. My advice is, why don't you just uzitanie na like 10 bob, 20 bob, zikuondokee zote, or rather what as we do at Mitumba Chap Chap, we normally put them in a gunia. Tunazieka zote kwa gunia, you'll get like 100 to 100, everything that we have, zingwe za watoto or anything, we put them in a gunia, then we give them a price. Normally as we do gunias at 3k. So tukifanya na hiyo 3k tumemake sure kila kitu tumefagia, na so the fagi imekuondokea. Hawa watu wanasema they go and find that the markets are saturated with cheap things, ati hizi vitu za bei za chini, lazima ufanye hesabu yako vizuri. It's not a must. You can either go for grade 2 bales, you can also opt to open bales. If you're opening bales na kule naona bei yako ya kamera, ukiuza pale na bei yao haifiki, why don't you select your camera in the house, where upelekange zile fagia pale, zile za 10 bob, za 30 bob hizo, and then the rest maybe you sell them online, or maybe you put a kakibanda ama kuzungusha, ama kuzia watu wa kuzungusha. That can also work. So I hope I have shared most of the things that people had asked me about, and anyway, don't give up on us, because if I've forgotten anything, we are still here anyway, and I'll continue on enlightening you as I also keep on learning from you people. And so I'm grateful. Thank you, viewers. Thank you for the subscriptions. Thank you for the comments that I've been getting from you. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe.
Mitumba Chap Chap, mbele iko sawa.